Now, in this part of the test, you're going to discuss something together. You will have 30 seconds to read this task carefully and then about 3 minutes to discuss and decide about it together. You should give reasons for your decisions and opinions. You don't need to write anything. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm just going to listen and then ask you to stop after about 3 minutes. Please speak so that we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's very good from the company to introduce a newsletter in the company. If there's a newsletter in the company, other people can read what the changes are in the company and what kind of information they have in the company. And maybe if there are new people who come to work in the company, they can see them in the newsletter. So I think it's very useful.
Yes, yes, I really agree with you. In fact, I was also thinking about the newsletter. It has the advantage of communicating the objective of the company and how people should be oriented in the company.
Yes.
What is their task, not just their tasks, but how they should act and what are their purpose and objectives.
Okay, but you also think that it has to be information about the general information about the company, right? Not different parts of the company, but general information about the company.
Yes, general information because it's for all the company. It's not
Yes.
for a specific area. So
Okay.
everyone should be aware of what's going on in the company.
Okay, yes. And I think it's also good to introduce new rules or important changes in the newsletter, and I think it's better that people know the information at the same time. It's not some part of the company knows the information before the other part knows. Now everybody knows on the same time. I think that's very good.
It's more fair, you know.
Yes, to everybody.
To
yes.
everybody know together how things are changing and this kind of things.
Yes.
And in fact, it has to be general. You know, it can't be very specific because, as I told you, it's for the whole company.
Yes. And I think it's good to do a newsletter once a week or once a month, so when there's enough news to send. And you can send it by email or you can print it and give it to everybody on their office. There are a lot of opportunities, I think, to do it. Don't you think?
Yes, it has to be. Everyone has to read it, or at least has to know that there is a newsletter for them to have the proper information, this kind of thing.
Yes.
So it as you said, it has to be sent by email, and it has to be for everyone to have a chance to know about this newsletter.
Yes, I think that's very good. Yes. I think maybe they have to take somebody in the company who makes newsletter. He can go to other people, ask what they want in the newsletter.
Yes, of course.
You can do a lot of things. You can do a lot of things in the newsletter. Yes, it's very useful. I think all the companies has to introduce a newsletter in their company to inform all the people. Yes, it's very good.
Can I have the booklet, please? Do you think a staff newsletter is a good idea for all companies?
I think it's not necessary for all companies. I think it's good to introduce newsletters in big companies. If you have more than 10 employers or something, it's good. But for small companies, it's not necessary, I think.
Yeah, it's not necessary because you know, in small companies you just can send an email or something. But in big companies, when you have lots of employees, you have to send a newsletter with also emails, this kind of things to, in fact, ease communication between employers and employees.
Yes, I think it's very good to give all the information to a big company so everybody knows the information on the same time. So for big companies it will really work, yes.
Yeah, newsletter is very good for that.
Yes.
In what ways can companies communicate regularly with customers? Paolo?
Maybe putting service that the customer relation, yeah, that's the name. It's a good idea because customers may tell the business if it's wrong or if it's right, what are their complaints and this kind of things. What do you think about that?
I think the company can also communicate with the customers by email or by the website. You can ask questions to the company and they can answer the questions by the email or by the website, I think. Yes.
Do you think the influence of customers on companies is increasing nowadays?
Yes, it is. It is in fact increasing, especially if you think about this environmental way of seeing things. You know, all the times you see the customers, they want the companies to be more environmental correctly. So they demand the companies to be like to send, instead of plastic, to sell it on glass, something like that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yes, it's completely true. Yes.
Thank you. That is the end of the test.